I got my hands on some crazy bottles in February of 2025, and if you want to see what they are, stick around. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome back to Brad's Bourbon Reviews. I'm Brad, and this might be to date my single greatest bourbon haul of all time. I'd have to run the numbers, I'd have to pull up some spreadsheets and see. I don't have spreadsheets. This is up there for crazy bourbon hauls for me personally in February of 2025. I have 17 bottles to get to. So enough talking. Let's get into them. They are in no particular order except the last one is a bottle I've been waiting years to get. First one up here we have is, I got this today as of date of recording. This is Detling Bottled and Bond. I really wanted to rush to get one of these because they just announced, I think this week or last week, they are discontinuing this bottle. So I had to find one. Luckily, there was one at an ABC near me, and I completely dropped the ball and almost screwed my friends over. Sorry, guys. Did not do that on purpose. I forgot to tell them that it was there. I'm so sorry. I feel like such a dick. Sorry, Chris. Sorry, Jace. Sorry, Matt. Sorry, other Matt. So I had to rush and get one of these. $80 for a Bottled and Bond. I know that's a lot for a craft distillery for a 4-year bourbon, but I like Detling. I like to support all the stuff they're doing. I have had things I didn't love, but I've yet to have something that I didn't like. I have to give this a shot, and especially with it going away, I definitely need this in the collection. Moving on to the next one. This is one of my favorite finds in 2025 so far. This is Jim Beam Winter Reserve. Why is this one of my favorite finds? Well, because this went on clearance here in Orlando for $6.25 a bottle, so I scooped up 3 bottles. I like to use this for a cocktail mixer, especially while it's still kind of cold, relatively speaking, to Orlando. Nothing crazy, but for $6, what are we doing? Moving on to the next one. All right, this is 3 bottles in a row. This is the Four Roses red labels, the OESO, the OBSF, and the OESK. Is that the right recipe? Yes. This is a new thing Four Roses is doing. They're the red labels is what I'm calling them. They're doing 3 of these a year, so you're going to be able to like try each individual recipe and see what you like. Be honest, when I first did the review, I didn't love any of these, but I need to go back to them and try them again. I got to stop eating before I do reviews, but I feel like I have to because I can't drink on an empty stomach. It's a real catch-22. Moving on to the next one. All right, this is a bottle that I was so excited to get. Just like completely elated to get my hands on this bottle. I have a review of this shot and ready to go, but I'm not going to ruin it. This is Elijah Craig Toasted Rye. I like Elijah Craig Toasted Rye quite a bit. 94 proof. Of course, my only complaint is that I wish it was a little higher proof. However, this thing is pretty good in cocktails. I just wish it was at 100. Just make it 100 proof. You're such a big distillery. There's no way that you're losing that much money making it 100 proof versus 94 proof. Oh, it smells so good. I love it so much. Whoops. Spoiled the review. It's really, really solid. Watch the review when it comes out. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss it. I feel like these are like making the rounds again because I've seen them a few places after not seeing them for like a year. I would recommend getting this. It's not a very expensive bottle. I think it was like $50-$60 for a rye. It's pretty damn good. So if you see it, grab it. Moving on to the next one. I really enjoy bourbon collecting. I really do. I love getting really hard to find allocated stuff. That's like such a fun time. But I also really, really enjoy getting really bad whiskey. I should do like the worst whiskeys in my collection video or something because I have some crazy shit that is just so bizarre and you've never heard of it. And this is one of those. You've probably never heard of this. This is Beam's 8-star Kentucky whiskey. And then it just says a blend. 80% grain neutral spirits with 20% straight whiskey, and it is 2 years old or more. Probably not. It's probably barely 2 years old. Yeah, this is going to be real bad, but really fun. I like to do these really, really terrible whiskeys from time to time because it really puts into perspective the craft of whiskey making. Really, really stupid of me to buy this, but I think it was like $6 or something, so I had to get it. Moving on to the next one. All right, I don't like to give credit in when someone gives me something in videos. I like to have them give themselves credit because I don't want to put anyone on blast. I don't want anyone, some people like to be more anonymous online, but a very kind and very generous viewer of the show sent me this Garrison Brothers because we were talking about it, and this one's cool because it's autographed. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. I can't wait to try this. I haven't tried this yet. I've had Garrison small batch before, and I want to see if it's as good as I remember being. I love the smell of Texas bourbon. I love it. It's so aggressive at that low proof, too. I think that's really, really fun. Moving on to the next one. This next one is one of the best whiskeys I've ever had in my life. One of my favorite bottles in my collection now. I am dying for a backup. I will trade something crazy for a backup of this bottle if anyone has one. Please. I'm serious. This is Detling Gold Wax. My review is already out. This is the highest rated bourbon I have ever given anything on my channel. I think if I did a review of Conviction Barrel 456, it would probably be tied with this, just to be completely honest and open. I've never done that for a few reasons. One is because it's not like you can get it for a lot of money on the secondary market. Like, bottles of it just simply do not exist in the world. So it's weird for me to like come on and be like, you will never be able to try this. I think that's shitty, so I don't want to do that. Unfortunately, that's kind of the case with this one, but at least this one was available for purchase at retail through Detling. And this is a $250 bottle. I would pay twice that for this bottle. I'm not even kidding. Without hesitation. If I could find one of these for $500, I'd probably buy it. It would just depend if I had extra $500 at the time, but value-wise, I think you can't do much better in the world of bourbon than this bottle. I truly believe that. So, seriously, one of the greatest bottles I have owned, have ever owned, ever will own. Shout out to Detling. This is fantastic. Moving on to the next one. Alrighty, we have dual stag batches, and the cork was like completely open on one of these. So what do I have here? I have Stag 24D, which was my favorite. I did a stag blind. This was by far my favorite batch from 2024. And then I have my very first Stag Junior. This is Stag Junior batch number 9. I got this from a buddy who was just trying to get rid of it and trying to, use some money to get some other bottles. And we came to an agreement on a price that I felt was fair. And I have my first Stag Junior. I'm excited. I tried it. I think it's really, really good. I don't think it's like my favorite stag I've ever had or anything like that. But I do think it's a really, really good stag. So Stag Batch 9 is pretty solid if you want to go out there. It's a 131.9 proof. So it's a pretty hefty boy. I am actually debating on focusing on getting all of the stag batches. I haven't decided yet. I really need to get Jack 10, 12, and 14 from this year. And then I can focus on getting other things. But right now, those are my focus. I'm excited to have it. Moving on to the next one. All right, moving on. Another budget bottle here that I have done a review of. It has not come out yet, but this is very Old Barton 100 proof. I was very excited to find this locally. I bought a bottle of this when I was bourbon hunting up in Virginia on my way to New Jersey before I stopped at the Bourbon distillery, and I left it in New Jersey, and I haven't seen it anywhere since, but luckily a liquor store here called Parton Liquor, store that I'm actually doing 2 rare character picks with the Orlando Bourbon Gang, had this for like $15, and I was like, screw it, I'll just have a second one. It's a really solid $15 bottle. Just please watch the review when it comes out because I just kind of ruined it, but it's a solid $15 bottle. So that's everything I like about very Old Barton, just elevated to a higher level. I gotta quit ruining my own content. Moving on to the next one. All right, Penelope came in hot and heavy in February as well for me. I got my hands on the Penelope Marshmallow Toast. I think this is probably my favorite Penelope I've ever had. It's like everything I like about Penelope. Higher proof, finished. I know that's weird. I don't typically love finishing, but Penelope just seems to me to do finishing very, very well. This one is phenomenal. I really, really dig this. This video comes out Monday, so I am not going to say anything about the review of it, but it's everything I like about Penelope. And I think they did a great job. It is a really fun bottle. And if you find one of these, you should definitely grab it because it is shockingly delicious. Moving on to the next one. All right, I was lucky enough to get my hands on another Eagle Rare store pick. This is a Publix liquor store pick, so I'm a little less excited about this one because I don't know who picked this. Some nameless guy who may or may not be into whiskey and bourbon probably tried something and said, throw our name on it. Who gives a shit? I'm going to do a video where I put these two next to each other and kind of see which one's better, which pick's better. I haven't opened it yet. It's Eagle Rare. I mean, realistically, how bad could it be? Now, I'm going to use that clip if it's really bad and put it in the video for when I do a review of this ultimately. Anytime I can get my hands on an Eagle Rare pick, I buy them. I think they're fun. They vary enough from barrel to barrel to be interesting. So $45, why not? Moving on to the next one. All right, I'm going to finish strong with the last two, okay? This one is a bottle that I know literally nothing about. From what I can gather, this is a bottle from the Uncle Nearest distillery. If you don't know the story of Uncle Nearest, he was actually the person who taught Jack Daniels how to do distillation and was technically the first master distiller of Jack Daniels, or one of the first master distillers at Jack Daniels. I don't know if they've actually said first, because I think they probably would still give that credit to Jack. This is an 84 proof version of Uncle Nearest. It's got this really cool green label. It's $30 bottle. If it sucks, I'll mix it with Coke and just kind of make some lackluster Jack and Cokes with this, but the bottle's cool, the label's cool. I like the story of Uncle Nearest, the brand, quite a bit. If it's good and we find a hidden gem whiskey, that's always a plus, and if it's not and it's just kind of mediocre, then we have just another mediocre bottle on our hands that I'll use as a mixer at some point. But yeah, I'm excited to try this. I like Uncle Nearest enough. Moving on to the next one. All right, second to last bottle here. This is a bottle of Penelope Havana. As the date I'm recording this is tomorrow's video. The video's out already. This is a really solid bottle. It's not as sweet as I was expecting it to be, and I think they did a really, really good job with the finishes on this specifically because it wasn't quite what I thought I was going to get, and that makes me happy because I didn't think I was going to like like it, and I really ended up enjoying it quite a bit. So these are pretty sought after, and I think if you find one, you should definitely grab it because it's interesting enough to add to your collection. If you like finishing or not, I think you might still find something you enjoy in this. I don't think it's as divisive as the Rio will be because I think it's more like subtle than that. I tried the Rio again today and it feels like I'm drinking Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk. Like it's so cinnamony, like cinnamon sugars and stuff. This is not that at all, but kind of the same idea, just done in a better way in my opinion. So I think you should get one of these if you can find it for a reasonable price. I think I paid $110 out the door, $111 out the door for this, so not too shabby, but I am excited to finally own one of these. Moving on to the last one. I feel like lately in my videos, like once a month, I get a bottle that I've just like wanted really, really, really badly. And I'm hoping March it's Jack Daniel's 14. Who knows? But this month, I got a bottle that I have been trying to get my hands on for years. I have wanted this bottle forever. One of the reasons why I want this bottle so bad is when I first started getting into bourbon, my dad even knows this brand and knows how much like it means as a bourbon dork to have a bottle from this brand, and told me as a non-drinker that if I ever got a bottle of this bottle in particular, he would have a drink with me. And I've wanted that moment for my dad for a long time, and it's finally going to happen when I get up to North Carolina for the barrel pick in March. I finally got an Old Rip 10-year. This is my favorite of the Van Winkles. I think 15 is probably a close second, but I think this one just edges it out for me for whatever reason. It's just like right down the middle of my palate. I am very excited to own this bottle. That's something I've been wanting for a long, long time. I paid retail for it. It was like $114. I got it in the ABC vault and got very, very lucky. I cannot wait to open this with my dad and have a drink with my dad. I've never had that before in my life as a 36-year-old because he doesn't drink. But I made him promise me if I ever got one that I would have that moment with him. And we're going to have that moment when I go up for my barrel pick, and I cannot wait. For all you guys that are going to be in attendance at the barrel pick, I cannot wait to see you there. It is going to be so much fun. I know that was quite a few bottles to get through. Thank you for watching. Comment down below. Let me know what you got in the month of February. And while you're down there, make sure you leave a like. That helps the video out. And make sure you subscribe because we are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. We're honing in. We're getting there. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, cheers. A big thank you to all the Patreon supporters you see on screen right now.